So, hi YouTube, my name is Chris and I'm doing the Karate Cross for you. Let's just see what comes up. These readings are not time specific, they are not sign specific. So whenever you find them, that might be a good indicator that you need to hear it. You're making plans. You're standing on the tower, by the way. The Two of Wands is standing on the tower. You're holding the hand at the world in your hands. Making big plans, overlooking the landscape. Wow. So where do you want to go? That's the question here, but that is the question of the past. So you were making plans, you were thinking about where to go, what to do next. Whatever you want, there's a star card, a wish fulfilled from the universe. The whole package, you get it. Star card. Sleepless nights, worrying, overthinking. Okay, so we're going to clarify this. There's the Seven of Pentacles at the foundation. You laid your seedlings, you planted your stuff, you made your choice. You're going to free yourself. And what is that with the 7, with the 6, with the 4? Wait, what is it? The 9 of Swords. Sleepless nights, worrying? Why? King of Cups, okay. It's your energy, the Queen of Cups, are you kidding me? King and Queen of Cups, that's powerful. Nine of Cups is one of the most beautiful cards ever. 4 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, the Magician. So, okay, let's get this story right here. So you planted your little seedlings, you attended your little garden, you know, it's not ready for harvest yet. That's the foundation and the path, right? So you made your plans, you got the world in your hand, you're overlooking the landscape, you're making up a story in your mind, in your consciousness, what to do next, where to go next. You planted your little seeds in the earth, right? So you did what you needed to do, you applied for the job, you applied for, I don't know, whatever program, university, whatever it is that you're doing next. You laid the foundation, you did what was necessary, right? You applied, you did that, you got an education, whatever, right? You planted your seeds and you have to attend those seeds. And this is you making up your mind. What do you want with these new things that you are manifesting into your life? And you are manifesting big time. There's the Magician, right? So I think you're doing this, whatever you're doing here, plans, laying the foundations for the next chapter of your life. There's the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is all about focus, right? Mental focus, attention. You know, whatever you focus your attention on, this is what the reality that you are creating. So the Queen of Swords is very much focused on her plans, right? And on her little seedlings that you planted here. And then the universe comes in and gives you exactly what you wanted, right? That's the Star card. And what's coming next is you totally freaking out. Why? I'm not sure. We're going to clarify this. There is no reason why you should be... This is sleepless nights, worrying too much, overthinking. Could also be some sort of breakdown or something. You know, sometimes when we have been working really, really hard and suddenly the pressure ends, right? Suddenly we get what we want and all this stress and all this pressure is released, right? Sometimes we just break down, right? Tell you how it is. So maybe that's a good breakdown. I don't know. And it's not necessarily a breakdown. It's just you unloading all of your worries. There's sleepless nights. There is, you know, you in bed crying, basically. But crying is not necessarily a bad thing. Oh God. You're releasing something. You are showing up as the King of Cups, the king of your feelings, the king of your emotions, and the queen of your emotions. So it's an inner and an outer aspect. So you are aware of your emotions internally, but you're also sure of how to express them. And when you feel overwhelmed, even by something that you wanted, right? And even by something that the universe is granting you as a blessing, when you get it, sometimes it's almost too much, right? And there's the, here in the outcome, you can be a happy 9 of Cups guy. You know, you got your talents, and just make sure that the main goal in your life is to work with what you love to do, and just never stop learning. Just never, you never finish, right? Just keep on learning. There's the Three of Wands, clarifying the Star card. The blessings are coming in. 2 of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Wands. So you want to go, you want to make action on your plans. The Page of Pentacles is clarifying the 9 of Swords. The Page of Pentacles is all about self-worth, right? The Knight of Cups clarifying the 7 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is clarifying the Queen of Swords, and there is the 9 of Wands, the 10 of Wands actually, clarifying the King of Wands. Again, the beautiful 9 of Cups, clarifying the Queen of Cups. Yeah, you want happiness, you want abundance, you want to be the 9 of Cups guy. So working with what you got, you don't need to be super rich or super successful. You're not sitting on a crown here. You're not having, you're not sitting on a throne here. You're not wearing a crown. But you got your talents, right? And you're proud of them, and you make something out of them. And here is the Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, bottom of the deck. Stay awake, right? I feel like you woke up from something. You woke up from something. You wanted to wake up. Did you want to wake up? And now you are awake. You wanted to wake up, now you are awake. And sometimes when we ask for something that we want, we have a one-sided idea about what we're asking for, right? So there is this idea that waking up is a good thing, right? But waking up is very ambiguous, right? So both sides in it, good and bad, light and shadow. And the Star card is very much about that too, right? So you got your wish fulfilled, you got your wish granted from the universe, you woke up. And sometimes when we wake up from something, from some illusion, right? What we find is not necessarily what we were looking for. So when we wake up, that can be a shock, I tell you. There's the 9 of Swords, right? But you're worth it. And it is an important step. You know, just think about little children, right? And they believe in Santa Claus, right? Santa Claus. And there comes the day they want to be grown-ups, right? They want to be grown-ups, they want to be treated like grown-ups. Little children always fantasize about being treated like grown-ups, and that's what they want. And it's kind of, every child wants to grow up and become an adult, right? But part of becoming an adult is waking up from that illusion that there would be this overweight guy in a Coca-Cola dress, it's ridiculously enough, climbing down the chimney, leaving some presents, right? That is a nice story you tell children. But if you want to become a grown-up, you have to wake up from that illusion. And little children often want that, you know, they express that want to wake up, right? They want to wake up. They want to be more like adults. But if you tell a little child, if you give a little child exactly what they're asking for and tell them, oh, by the way, Santa Claus isn't real, guess what how they might react to that, right? So you might learn something here, or something might be revealed to you that might be shocking at first and turn out to be a blessing in the long run, right? You wanted this, you made plans for it, and you went for it. You laid the foundation and you went on your spiritual journey, and the universe was saying, okay, here you have it. And this is kind of an act of freeing yourself and leveling up, right? If you're a little child believing in Santa Claus, you can be easily manipulated. If you're a grown-as man or grown-as woman, or whatever wonderful gender you want, then you can't be that easily manipulated like a child who believes in Santa Claus, right? So it is a good thing to leave behind this illusion of Santa Claus. It's part of growing up. It's a wake-up process, right? You can say it like that. There are many, many wake-up processes. This particular wake-up process, this particular gift from the universe, a star card, right? And the star card is good and bad. You get the whole package. You ask for it, you get it. And it is a liberation with the Queen of Swords. And there's even abundance and happiness and, abundance here coming towards you. But you might be a little shocked. But your self-worth is demanding this destruction of the illusion. You need to hear that there is no Santa Claus. In order to grow up a little, you owe it to yourself not to be continuing as that little child believing in fairy tale stories. There's joy and happiness here. Remember that. There's the King of Cups, the king of your emotions, and the ability to express your emotions to other people, communicate them, and the ability to listen to other people and be aware, listen to yourself of your own feelings. So you know your own feelings and you know how to express them. That's very, very good. So you know what is good for you and what is not good for you, what is working for you, what is not working for you, what is hurting your emotions, what is healing your emotions. That is what you learned. And you gained mastership into it, King and Queen of Cups. So now it's time for these two guys. This is the outcome. And this is the outcome of the wish that you asked for and the plans that you made in direction of that wish. So you did your homework. You did not just ask for it, you made plans, you laid the foundations, you planted your seeds, and there are two knights as clarifiers, the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, so you went for it. And you made it true, you freed yourself, that's the butterfly queen with the Queen of Swords. And you made these little seedlings flower, right? The 7 of Pentacles and the foundation is turning to the 9 of Pentacles. So you actually were super successful in your endeavor to make that developmental step. And as I said, you ask for it, you got it. When you get it, sometimes it's not what we expected, right? Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. Sometimes we cry, sometimes we, worry a lot. 9 of Swords energy. But this is just a moment, right? And then you remember, okay, I've been through so much shit. I'm already the King and the Queen of Cups. I'm already in charge of my emotions, right? I'm not getting carried away like a little child by my emotions, right? I asked for this. I went through with it. 7 of Pentacles to the 9 of Pentacles. All my little seedlings that I've planted, I attained to them and I made them flower and blossom. And I'm actually ready to harvest and to get that star card blessing, so to speak. What you ask for is yours. In the outcome, beautiful, beautiful potential here. That's the position of the potential. And this is what you now should focus on, right? After you learned that, after you woke up from a few illusions, you now have to focus on, because this is a real possibility now, to be happy. You don't need a crown, you don't need a throne. You got your talents and you can be divinely humble, proud of these talents and just work with them. And then you are well dressed, sitting on a wooden bench, no crown, but still well dressed and well off, doing what you love to do. And you, by all means, going through all that, should know what you love to do. King and Queen of Cups, do that. Focus on that, right? What is internally important for you? What do you love to do while you're doing it, right? That is most important to do now. And this is you with all of your pentacles, magic and energy here. You made something happen, right? 7 of Pentacles to the 9 of Pentacles. Here's the 4 of Pentacles. That's the outcome. That's you basically keeping your distance from the profane world basically, but you're still part of it, right? You are awake. That's the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is very much awake. Look at that guy. His sword drawn, and looking into the distance, the wind in his hair, he's very awake. So you wanted to be awake, now you are. You're still work in progress, right? As I said, Santa Claus and the destruction of the illusion of Santa Claus is part of growing up. And so are many, many other steps of waking up, many, many other levels of waking up, right? Whatever level you achieved here, you achieved it. You wanted it, you get it. Might not feel fantastic, right? Knowing that there's no Santa Claus, right? Maybe the delivery of that message wasn't perfect, but you wanted to know, now you know. So make sure that you're happy, make sure that you're doing what you love, and make sure that you stay awake, don't fall back to sleep, and see yourself as the most important project in your life. The only project in your life that you can truly have direct influence towards or onto, or whatever the preposition is. So you're not done here, right? It goes on. You learn and grow even further. Make sure that you don't run through life, trying to take the next step and the next step and the next step, but smell the flowers, have some fun, do what you love what you do, and be happy, even if you know that there's so much more to learn. Smell the flowers, And it is a good reading, and I'm going to pull one oracle card. It is a good reading. It's a wake-up reading. You woke up from something. There's Archangel Michael #1, and I love that a lot, and I know what it's all about. Eternal love and protection. I'm always with you. And in this moment, I embrace you with my protective blue light. I loved you before the dawn of time and will continue to love you forevermore. My love is eternal, it never changes, for we are timeless souls. Together we have journeyed through the ages. We have been the light of the sun and the grass of the fields. Millions of Earth years have passed, and yet here we are. The same light still glows in your hearts, and the same grass carpets the field with green. You have lived countless lives, and I'm always with you, for I'm the sky above you and the endless love inside your heart. You're protected, you are loved eternally. Make sure to love yourself. That is also King and Queen of Cups energy, also the Nine of Cups. It's all about self-love. The Page of Pentacles, clarifying your root awakening here. Self-worth, self-love. Focus on that. Yeah, and I'm not sure who needs to hear this. That's from Hannah Arendt. Those who choose the lesser evil forget very quickly that they chose evil. And, this rude awakening usually are for those people who did not choose evil. And if you did not choose evil, you should share, like, subscribe to this channel, because that's a channel for you. Imagine a world, anxiety is the dizziness of freedom, Søren Kierkegaard. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. So make that brief, that moment of rude awakening, and then go on to joy and happiness. Let's come back to this example that I talked about, that child that now knows that there is no Santa Claus. And you might be the only child in your class who knows that there's no Santa Claus. So if you're not an asshole child, you're not running around telling everybody that there's no Santa Claus, but because there are people who are just not prepared for it. They're not prepared to hear it, right? You can't, pedagogy is all about knowing when to present a lesson or a lecture. Not everybody is ready for it. So you can't be the child who knows that there's no Santa Claus running around telling everybody there's no Santa Claus. That's not a good idea. That is, you concentrate on your happiness and your joy, on your own development. That is the message here. Joy, happiness, your own development. You're worth it. So imagine you're in preschool or in, elementary school, and you found out there's no Santa Claus. You are the one who knows. That is a high privilege. And with that high privilege, as shocking as it might have been in the first moment, there's no Santa Claus, oh God, all the stories were lies. There you have the Nine of Swords energy. There's a shock when you hear it, when you truly understand it. But you're the one who knows, and that's a high privilege. And with this high privilege, with power, comes responsibility. So don't run around telling people there's no Santa Claus. Because some might not be ready, and some might even attack you if you tell them, because they're just very, very not ready. So owe it to yourself to have that wisdom, to feel privileged with that wisdom that you attained here, that you asked for, that you worked for, that you got. Now what you do with it? You concentrate on a happy, joyful life and humble small steps in your development. You are the one who knows that's a high privilege, and with power comes responsibility. That's all I got. And if it resonates with you, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment. See you next time. Namo Buddhaya. Ciao.